There's an ad playing on YouTube. Oh. Well, who am I with these YouTube ads? Hi, guys. All right. How do we sound? How do we looking and sounding? I am
Con Love.
Ice Killer, thank you for the 6 months. Also, Concuss Keeper, thank you for the 5 months. And there was one more. Critical Event, thank you for the 6 months. Sound better than normal setup? Nick was asking me everything. So Nick just set this up for me. He was asking me what I use at home. And I was telling him, and because he just pulled this stuff out of like a closet. He literally just pulled all of this gear out of a closet. And yeah, I was like, wow, you just have equipment that is better than the stuff that I use every single day. PK421, thank you for the 300 bits. You all would, okay. If you are a tech person, you would lose your mind at Nick and Melena's house. I mean, it is, if you are a tech person, if you're a PC, you know, whatever, this is Disneyland for you. That's the same mic arm Will executed like a year ago. I remember that. Yeah, Nick and Melena have an insane, they just have their house is crazy. It's like the Disneyland of Twitch technology. His random ass closet equipment's better than most people's setup. Yeah, that's fucking true. I went into Soda's empty room. The only thing that's in it is the hot dog thing, like statue, a full suit and armor statue that Soda bought, and then fuck, what was the last thing? There's just like 3 giant statues in his room. You know it's over when the sex doll is gone. I know, feels bad, man. I didn't open the drawers. No, I just kind of stepped in and looked around. Don't turn on a black light in there. Yeah, no, you guys, well, I don't know. What's the saying about like you get what you look for? I don't know. That's not right, but curiosity destroyed Caroline's innocence. Did you sit in his bathtub? No. No, I'm not sitting in any bathtub. I'm not looking in any drawers. I'm not shining a light in any corners. Nothing. There's a clip of Nick hovering over the doors when Extra Emily was streaming, trying to keep her from opening them. Oh boy. You go looking for trouble and you'll find it. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. So anywho, I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to do a quick stream tonight and see how everybody's doing. So yesterday I left LA and I got to, okay, this is really bothering. Here we go. I left La La Land. I landed in Austin. I went straight to the Alamo Drafthouse where the final screening of my film was. But first, I grabbed dinner with Melena and Peach Jars, who were my dates for the screening. And then we all 3 went to the movie theater. I saw my cast and crew members of the film and got to catch up with them. And then we watched the premiere, and it was amazing. I mean, it was really hard for me to see myself on screen, per usual. And every time I would come on screen or Will would come on screen, Melena and Peach would just start squealing and turn to me, and I was just like, oh. And it's funny because Will and I are in about 4 to 5 scenes each, and we are never in the same scene, but we would have these like really funny overlaps where he would have a very funny scene and he'd be like there's one part where he ends, he goes, "That's rad, dude." And then it goes right into the next scene that I'm in the scene doing something ridiculous. So we are never in a scene together, but we come close. What's the movie called? It's called Peak Season. People are loving it. Oh my goodness! 300 and what? Thank you for those 10 gifteds. I appreciate you. Pagu. Love a 10 banger. Wow, that didn't sound the way that I wanted it to. Anyway, so the movie was absolutely stunning. I said to my friends Henry and Steve, who directed the film afterwards, I was like, you know, guys, I knew you were talented, but my God, I was just blown away. I genuinely was watching this film and was like, I can't believe this is the film that we made. I can't believe I can't believe what I'm watching right now. It's so good. We just ran everything ever all at once, but I understand the importance. It's all that I ask. And it's been really well received. 1500 goal, your ambition fell off. I know. I realized who I am and who the fuck I am not. Change it back to 1 million. Here, if we hit 1500 one of these days, I will change it back to 1 million. I think there's a 10 bagger in Soda's room somewhere. That's what I'm talking about. So anywho, the film was great. Novalux, thank you for the 7 months. I was really, really touched by the reception to it. There was a wonderful review that Collider did, and they mentioned me in it, you know, which always feeds the ego. We did a Q&A after the screening, and Peach asked a question. It was so cute. She goes, "Hi, I have a question. I don't know a lot about film things and equipment, but..." And then she asked this question because the film takes place in, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And there's one scene where the leads do this gorgeous hike. And they hike to this lake, and it's so beautiful. And when the filming was being done this summer, they actually had to hike 10 miles, like carrying this camera equipment. So she asked a question about, like how they got the equipment up there, and they were like, not easily. You were just reading the Collider review? Yeah, it was really a wonderful review. I've read quite a few reviews of the film, and they have been lovely. And then I watched the film, and it was lovely. For the screen time you have, what was the actual commitment? I did 3 days in Jackson Hole, and then I did a day back in LA. So it was 4 days total. But it was so awesome. It was great. And like afterwards, this casting, I was so spent between the Streamer Awards and then the Oscars and then flying down to Austin. By the time the film finished, I was standing around talking to some of my pals who worked on the film with me, and this woman comes up, and I was standing with my friend Claudia, who plays the lead, and she's so amazing in the role. And someone was like, "I'm a casting director from New York. I just want to say you ladies were fantastic." And it was one of those like, "I'm a casting director from New York. You're like, hi, you know, I have my eye on you guys." And I was so depleted that I genuinely was like, "Caroline, speak, open your mouth, use your words, talk, say hello, be charming." Because I was spent. But it was great. I mean, I'm glad I was able to make it down. It was really nice to have Milena and Peach attend with me because Will couldn't come. When and okay, so a couple you were asking when you can see it. I don't know when it will be available yet. So I think the idea is that it will be hopefully picked up by some streaming service, right? So I haven't checked in with my my friends who directed the film to see where that process is at, but it's always a good thing when a film is at a film festival like South by Southwest. It's a big deal. So I'm sure at some point you'll be able to rent it off of Prime, Google TV, something like that. It was lovely. They supported you during the premiere. They were so cute, taking photos of me. Milena recorded the entire Q&A. I looked up and she just had her phone. She was like Regina George's mother, recording the entire thing. Yeah, so it was a great night. Wunderbar. I know, usually I'm the one with the mom energy, so it's nice when somebody else has it. Yeah. Too bad you cannot sell digital copies. I would buy one. I mean, I still want to try to figure out if Will and I would be able to do a special screening, like do a special movie night where we play the film for our communities. I obviously would need to get permission for that, so I'm not quite sure when that would happen, but I think that would be a really, really cool thing to do. What's the movie? It's called Peak Season. It's a rom-com dramedy. Yeah, and it really turned out so great. I mean, I teared up. There were moments that I got sad. Apparently, so my character's name is Fiona. And I play this like crypto douche LA influencer type of person. And Will and I are both a lot of the comedic relief in the film. But anyway, so at the second screening of... Did you see the Osnox tweet of Will's picture? Yeah, will you link it? At the second screening of the film, so I wasn't here because it was over the weekend, some older guy at the Q&A was like, yeah, I have a question. And they were like, yes, you over there. He goes, where did Fiona go? And they were like, what? He goes, I kept expecting her to come back. And they were like, oh, I mean, you know, that happens. Like, if you're not the main characters, like if it's not your story, you know, you don't necessarily need to have this ending, right? Like, we don't need to have this conclusion for your character. He kept being like, yeah, well, you know, the final time she appears, it's a scene of just her. And she's in the field trying to take pictures with cows. Where did she go? Why was that the end for Fiona? I think we needed a conclusion. I think we needed some, we needed some idea of where she went. I was like, well, maybe we do a sequel called like Fiona Takes Jackson Hole. Okay. Asking the real questions. Exactly. And it's funny because I wasn't there at that, I obviously was not there at that Q&A, but everybody was like, yeah, I think he was just in love with Fiona. They're like, I genuinely think this old man who saw the film was just in love with Fiona and was like, why didn't we ever see her again? I love that Will's IMDb list for the movie lists him as William and he has no picture. Well, we gotta update that. We gotta update his IMDb. Oh, I have to sign into Twitter. Hold on. Yeah, I had to sign into everything on here. Log in. You guys, I forgot that Will is still technically banned from my stream. So we can watch some clips from ban appeals today because I did forget that he's still banned. and I don't know how to unban someone, so it is what it is. Yeah, apparently one of y'all, when he came in, what was it, 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago, he came into my stream and he was doing the like show feet, show bops. I think somebody banned him because when they were doing ban appeals, they're like, you don't have any ban, you have 1 ban appeal. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought we had more mods. Didn't we have more? Anyway, so they pull up the 1 ban appeal that I have today, and I was like, it's like, are you serious? Are you serious? This is the 1 ban appeal that I have. Will Neff. Yeah, Nori must have done it all. Anyway. Show bops. Okay, yeah. So here's the Austin Ox. I genuinely was so confused when I saw this. Fuck. I gotta fix all this shit. Oh, this is on a different... Hold on. The Twitter, the stream ban thing was really fun. I definitely, so mods going forward, I definitely want to save our bans because it was very entertaining. At least some of them. Some of them I was like, oh my god, that person is a psycho. All right. Hold, please. I'm still pulling up Twitter. Okay. Show feet, show bops. Go. So Malena took a picture of Will during the screening when Will appeared on when Will appeared in one of his scenes. She sent it to Will. He must have I don't know, he must have showed it on screen or something. Somehow Austin Ox got the photo and then photoshopped it into the bear with the caption, "How was no one going to tell me Will Neff was in this show?" I mean, this is wild. He showed it on screen and Austin Ox photoshopped it into Hulu. Same, I was confused, and I watched the movie. I saw Malena send that picture to Will, and I was still confused. I was like, well, wait a second. Now, how is he in the bear? Ryle.com, thank you for the tier 1. Yes, Chef, let's go. Okay, so here's the other funny thing. All right, this is how dumb Will is. So Will, in the rest of the movie, he's got his brown moppy hair, because he shot a couple of scenes with his brown hair, and then it was going to be like a 2-week break before he was going to film again. This motherfucker dyes his hair bleach blonde and then like shaves off half of it, and he posted a photo on Instagram of him with the shaved blonde hair. So our friend Henry, who directed the film, texted me and goes, "Please don't tell me that that is a recent photo." And I was like, oh my god, it is. Why? Because I didn't know that Will needed to film again. He's like, oh god, yeah, Will still needs to do one more scene in the he's like, we need him for a kitchen scene. And I was like, well, and Will comes home and I go, did you forget that you need to
Will
film
can be dumb though.
again? MF Nugget, thank you for the 2 months. Will can be dumb though. Smartest guy I know and also dumbest guy I know. I said, did you forget that you still have you've still got some scenage to do? And he went, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, that's my bad. I was like, yep, Will, you had one job. Don't change your hair. And you literally changed it to like the most opposite thing you could. And so what they had to do, oh, are the cursed alerts back? This always seems to happen when I'm traveling. So they put this red bandana on him, but there is one point where he turns and you see the blonde hair from behind, and so you just kind of ignore it. You're just watching the movie and you're like, oh, whatever. But yeah, he looks like Prison Mike. Oh! Oh, this chair! Oh my god! That chair literally leans back. Okay, I'm not used, again, I am streaming from a new place.
Let's go, is that 5K, Willie?
Skill Cylinder, thank you for the 7 months. Yeah, that is 5K, Willie. So yeah, wow, that was wild. Please don't die. Are we liking this mic more? Should I just like cough up the money even though my mic was expensive and just get one of the fucking Shure SMBs? Is it, I mean, everybody has this mic. Just ask for it. Oh, I can't. Nick and Milena have done so much for me. I can't take this mic. Ask around if anyone's got an extra. It's so nice. Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't get cut off if I was singing or if I was, playing a game and screamed. Okay, okay, real quick. Woo! Did you hear that? It cuts off. It cut out. Okay. Now I won't lie. That was a very, very high note. That was a very high note that I hit. Yeah. Cuts off when you do. Okay. I feel though that this mic is going to be better than my other one. Yeah, only dogs could hear that. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that everybody uses this mic. I got the mic that I got because I copied Maya's setup. I didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing. God, I hate that this keeps window capturing. Fuck. Oh yeah. No, this slaps. This vid freaks you out. That and a new PC. I know. I feel like I should just see what they have that they'll give me. I mean, like I said, they have so much shit here. You grew up on this? Will has definitely played this for me before. Ella B, thank you for the 7 months. I know, I really should get a new PC. I should switch out my mic. In case you wanted to hear the fade out. Let me. Okay, real quick. Okay, real quick. Honestly, that's pretty good. Because the way that my other mic, the RE320 works is like the built-in noise gate just, at least that was a fade out. It sounds like she fucking flew away. It's a tolerable cutoff versus, and it still gave me a lot of width before it started fading out. But the RE320 sucks, honestly. You can turn off the high pass filter. I thought I did. Are you talking about for this one or for my mic? Hello, found you from Nick and Milena's stream. +1 follow. Hello. Love having new people in here. Yeah, so y'all, I'm really excited to be down in Austin. I'll tell you what's coming up on the docket since I already kind of spoiled the Ren Fair. I thought everybody knew already, but you know, me and my chatty Cathy mouth. So we are going to, oh my god, another 10 banger from 300 and what? Another 10 banger. Thank you, 300 and what? I appreciate you, and thank you for spreading that love. Let's fucking go. It was like an open secret. Yeah, it was like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's marriage being an open secret. Yeah, everybody knows. Everybody knows. So here's what's coming up. Tomorrow, I am getting up early and I'm going and doing a car stream with Nick and Milena. Apparently,
Hogan Long gifted a tier 1 sub to Docket.
Hogan,
They have
thank you
given
for that
39
gifted.
gift subs in the channel.
Apparently, we're going to be doing a fast food tier list. I will be trying Whataburger. I'm like, I asked them too, I go, what time again? 10 in the morning? They were like, yeah. I go, okay, I just want to be clear on that. 10 in the morning for a fast food tier list? I was like, okay, all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds great. Prepare to be disappointed. I mean, I've heard so much about Whataburger, so I know, I feel like I know what to expect. I feel like I'm tempering my expectations. Tempering. I mean, the last time I was here, I think Nick explained it perfectly where he was like, what did he say? He goes, Whataburger isn't even that great, but it's consistent. And I started laughing because I think that's the truth. It's like people know what they're getting when they go there. And it's not that it's the greatest burger in the world. And in fact, a lot of people who love it don't even think it's that great. It's just consistent. So tomorrow is Thursday. I'm going to do that. I texted, I also just messaged Extra Emily to see if she wants to do a football throwing stream because we're playing football on Saturday. I'll be playing football with these, so they'll either give me advantage of having longer fingers or I will break all of my nails off. So I talked to her, she came over last night and I was like, maybe we should practice throwing the football around before Saturday. Like maybe we practice that a little bit. I feel like I've barely even worked out since I was here for soccer because life has just been crazy. Watch out for Mizkif. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about football this Saturday, even though it is flag football, right? So it's not tackle. We're going to be wearing flags around our waist that you gotta grab, but I don't trust him. I do not trust him. Wear cleats and make sure to slide in 2-footed on Miz. I know. I mean, I know he's gonna be out for blood. So I feel like I need to, if we're not on the same team. Normally you don't slide tackle in indoor soccer too. Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow I'm doing the fast food tier list. And then maybe an IRL throwing the old pig skin around. And then Will gets in tomorrow. Oh, I don't know because he does not have his flight yet. So Will potentially gets in tomorrow. 39 Daff is coming in tomorrow night. Who else is coming in tomorrow? Maybe Austin. I actually don't know. But yep, 39 Daff is coming in. I think she's staying here at Casa de Nick and Milena. And then Friday, we're getting up early. we're doing the Ren Fair. Why did you and Will travel at different times? I really wanted to make it to the last showing of our screening of our premiere. Can you please ask Will on stream about Aaron Rodgers? Oh, you think he didn't call me today?
Does that mean Will is streaming tonight? Pogo.
Does that mean Will is streaming tonight? Yes. I talked to him about an hour ago. He was at the gym, so I'm sure he is going to do one last stream tonight before he heads out tomorrow to Austin. And then yeah, so Friday I think it's going to be a group of about 10 of us going to the Renaissance Fair. And then Friday is also St. Patty's Day. So we might go out and do something afterwards. And then Saturday is game day. It's football, American football. And then I don't know if I'm doing anything else on Saturday. I'm sure I'll be exhausted. And then Sunday, how much are they paying you to play with them? They're paying me in friendship. In friendship. And then Sunday, I think I'm going to head back home. Yep. My B-day is tomorrow, turning 33. Happy early birthday. And then I was talking to Emmy Rue because I'm going to do
Can you postpone the
a cosplay
Renaissance
with
Fair
her.
stream to the weekend for us weekday IRL Andy's prayers?
Dude, I wish. They moved game day to Saturday, and so I think the Ren Fair is probably all weekend, but we can only do Friday. Yeah, and then Emmy and I were messaging today about a cosplay stream, but I told her that we're probably going to be back next weekend anyway for the final game day. So I think we're going to do a cosplay with Emmy next weekend when we come back. This will have been the third weekend I've spent in Austin this month. So like pretty much every single weekend in March has been in Austin. Nick was supposed to go to 6th Street with Extra Emily on Friday. Oh, no fucking way is Nick doing that. He will literally die. It's not happening. Can't wait for Seer and Will on Friday stream. Yeah, it's gonna be a great group. It's gonna be, let me think. Well, me, Will, Nick, Seer, Peach, Nick, Milena. Did I say Nick and Milena? I think it's like maybe gonna be 10 of us. Probably, I think E-Rob. I think E-Rob and Britt. Daff. And then a couple others. S-Fan, Emmy, and Amaranth are gonna watch the rodeo on Friday. They wanted more streamers to come. If you didn't watch rodeo. Wait, they're going to the rodeo, or they're watching it on a stream? Yeah, it's all of us and then Aaron Rodgers. They're going. Oh. They're going. I've never been to a rodeo. Whose channel will the Ren Fair be on? I think it's probably going to be on I think it'll probably be on Nick and Milena. The rodeo smells gross. Why not just stay there a few weeks? Well, I got my son. I got Farley. That he stays with my brother. Go out of town, but I miss him. Kind of want to just bring him down here. The rodeo would be a great IRL. We're playing football on Saturday. So here, I'll pull up the lineup. Uno momento. Okay, so they don't have the full lineup, but these are the guests. God damn it, why? Oh fuck. You know what? I keep switching between. Ah! Shit. Internet. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. Is this the one that I want? Wait. Hold, please. Hold. Okay. There we go. There we are. Oh boy. So large. Okay. So here is the OTK announcement. We have some very special guests joining us for game day this week. I appreciate that they used this fire selfie of mine that I just took. Whoever it was that put this together, probably young Jeff, who does their social. So it is Will Neff, me, Caroline Kwan, 39 Daff, Ammo, and Austin Show. Watch Daff pop off. She's probably gonna be so good. I really believe it. I'll tell you something over Streamer Awards. Hi Caroline, I'm new to your stream. You give me Olivia Munn vibes. You're beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. I've gotten the Olivia Munn doppelganger before. So I met Daff officially this past weekend at the Streamer Awards. And I came up to her, I was standing with Will, and she came up and said hi, and I was like, "Hey, we've never actually met, but I'm Caroline." She's like, "Oh, it's really nice to meet you." I go, "It's kind of funny. One time I raided you because I've just been a fan of you for a long time. I've heard about you from Will, and I just think you're super dope." I go, "I raided you, and you saw my raid, and you went, 'Oh, thank you, Carolyn Kwan.'" Like, oh my community was like, "You pronounced her name completely wrong." And I was like, "But I truly don't care. You could call me like Butthead, and it would have been an honor." It's funny. It was funny. And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." I was like, fine. It was funny. Carolyn Kwan. Is Daff there to steal someone's computer again? Is she a computer stealer? That's her type of humor. I actually don't think she meant to. I think she was in the middle of something. She didn't know who I was. So when I rated her, she was very focused on a game or something, and she looked up and just saw my name and pronounced it as Carolyn Kwan. Oh man. Carol Ann Kwan. Hassan gave her a computer. I gotcha. So Austin announced and has been making it very clear for the past couple of weeks that he is going to be playing
5 months of
the
great
quarterback
Caroline
on whoever's
streams.
team he's on. Techno, thank you for the 5 months. Austin wanted everybody to know that whatever team he is on, he is playing the quarterback. Yeah. I was like, "Can you throw? Or do you just want to be quarterback because it's like a sexy position?" Yeah, it's cuz he wants those he wants access to the tight ends. Who's hosting you? Nick and Melina. He can throw. Listen, I'm not saying he can't throw. I'm just saying that he came out, no questions asked, and was like, "I am going to be the quarterback." And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe we should, when the teams are figured out, we kind of see who's got the best arm." I'm not saying it's me. I genuinely mean that. I'm just saying, though, maybe there's other people who who would be a good quarterback. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? All right. What's been happening? What's been happening on online in the Twitch world? Are there any good clips from the band council today?
Quan Raid.
Pepe El Toro, thank you for the 7 months. What position am I playing? Well, the fact that you think I know football positions is very sweet. I am an athletic person. I don't know jack shit about football. So the Aaron, okay, if you guys don't know, Austin went Karen on Will's stream last night. I want to watch that.
Thanks for all the fun in the streams. Can't wait to see what's to come.
Thank you for the 4 months. You're so kind. Caroline's position is MVP. Exactly. So if you don't know, Aaron Rodgers officially signed with the New York Jets. Yep. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jets player. Yeah, Will can finally know peace. Every single day for like the last week, he has woken up, checked the news, gotten jebaited, and then, you know, retreats back into the hole whence he came. He's excited because basically he was like, Will was like, if the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers, they are fucked. They are fucked. And they essentially were waiting, and apparently they missed, I guess, I don't know what's happening. There's something important happening that started 2 days ago. The free trade. The free trade? I don't know. That sounds like something we learned in history that happened like the 1800s. The free agency. The free trade. The free trade. The free agency. Yeah. So he was freaking out because the Jets were waiting for Aaron Rodgers. So they missed the free trade agreement. The start of it. Yeah, apparently too, Aaron Rodgers, who is a big weirdo, before he came to this conclusion, he went on this retreat by himself where he sat in a completely pitch black, like total darkness for a couple days. Yeah. And he like shit in the dark. He was just completely in the dark. He was probably doing ayahuasca or something. And he said that he needed to come to the decision if he was going to retire or if he was going to keep playing football. Yeah, it was a darkness retreat. And then he left, or he finished this darkness retreat. And then they asked him what he was going to do, and he still was like not clear on his answer. So the Jets have just been sitting there like, can you fucking let us know what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is nuts. Is he still with Shailene Woodley? Let me take a look. I thought that they broke up. Yeah. They're broken up. Okay. That was so odd. What an odd pairing. All right, guys. So, here's the clip from today's band council. This is the one and only band that I had. And you might recognize the name.
Council versus Will Neff. 1, 2, 3.
Council versus. Here were the logs. These were the logs that they pulled up for the ban. Show bops and feet, baby. Ah ha 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 ha. Sorry I got hacked. You could have told us. We have a few names we could have given you. I didn't know it was happening until like last second. Sorry I got hacked. Yeah, I just got the account back. Now show bops. Definitely real moderator banned Will Neff. And then here was his ban appeal. Wear bops. That was his ban appeal. And so here's the response.
Versus Will Neff. 1, 2, 3, vote.
Unironically, just ban this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, NMP with the unban. Unironically ban this
How
guy.
dare he? Council versus Will.
Yep, no bops and no unban for this Will Neff. He was very clearly hacked. You know, it's debatable. It is debatable if in fact he was hacked or not, you know. Can we watch the clip where you leaked today? Yeah, you guys let me see. Okay, filter by clips. I don't know. How do you find clips? So like the last day. Okay, wait. This was really funny too.
Sir, you want to read this one?
Yeah.
For Ruffle
So
Gator's
first
chat?
of all,
For Rolf, actually.
Sears timing when he comes in, and we were joking about. Oh, where is? You know what? Let me just go to the video. Let me just go to like the actual stream. So.
South by Southwest is.
Yes.
So
Okay.
she and Will.
Here it is.
Wait, no.
Subscribed 95% of the chat. Okay.
Okay, so
Bad dick.
there's
Why is
Maybe-
it so
maybe
blurry?
ask
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, okay.
Watch full video on the clip. It'll take.
Couldn't quite
It's a
read.
little bit blurry. Let me fix the quality. Oh, that's because the quality sucks ass. Lieutenant Smokin', thank you for the 4 months. Well, 160p ain't no way. Okay, why is it not updating?
Okay.
Oh,
who
there
wants
we
to
go.
read this one?
There we go.
when I was a kid, I had to go to my because no one calls Will Neff. I wouldn't like that.
If
And
any,
I think this is
are we really?
you're here when we did my one
Oh, wait,
and only
yeah.
man. Yeah.
the first last month. At NMPLOL, we love capitalistic bitches with 0 IQ, 3 tons of makeup to cover their shitty faces, and 0 personality to top it off. Honestly, nothing false has been said during each of these statements. The fact that you dumbass motherfuckers cannot even perform a basic human capacity is just embarrassing. I can speak 6 languages, got all the bitches, drive a McLaren, and I fuck all your moms simultaneously. 7 digits, sugar tits, don't talk, stay mad, get smoked, based as fuck.
Is that Sear?
This is Sears alt account. Whenever he does this.
Sears alt account.
Oh my god.
All right, this person can speak 6 languages. Can they speak this?
Ooh.
Wow, got
I think
him.
This guy's just shitlording.
Got him.
hardcore.
Yeah.
The question is this too much shitlording for you, right? Like,
I don't think so.
Like, basically.
Don't ban my
Oh,
alt.
Dude.
what the fuck?
Did you ban my alt?
No.
Well, we're in the process.
What's up, buddy?
Do you have something you'd like
No,
to
no,
say?
the dog. Buddy, go out.
It's based as fuck.
You can sit down and take
I
a
mean, you can make your
What is he
appeal.
doing here?
What is he doing here?
What are you doing here?
Here, Sear, take my spot.
Why don't you sit and make your?
Sit here.
Why don't you make your appeal to us?
Dude, Rolf.
What's up, dude? What are you doing here?
What's up, Rolf?
It's been a while, man.
Hey, Caroline.
Hi, buddy. Hi.
I miss you.
Yeah, honestly, nothing false.
So I asked him. I was like, this tends to be a thing with you where your timing on things is perfect. I go, are you just sitting? Do you just show up when you see that they're streaming? And he goes, oh yeah. He's like, I just go there and then I watch the stream. He's like, I sit in my car, I watch the stream, and I wait to hear my name mentioned. He's literally just waiting in the shadows. Yeah. And he says he waits to hear his name mentioned. Are we not going to address that handshake? Okay, the handshake is pretty funny. Hold on.
Here, sit here.
Why don't you make your appeal to us?
Dude, Rolf.
What's up, dude? What are you doing here?
What's up, Rolf?
It's been a while,
Hey,
man.
Caroline.
Hi, buddy. Hi.
I miss you.
Yeah, honestly, nothing false has been said during each of these statements. The fact that you dumbass motherfuckers can't even perform at basic human capacity is just embarrassing. Me, personally, I can speak 6 languages.
Okay.
I got all the bitches. I drive a McLaren, and I fuck all your moms simultaneously. 7 digits, sugar tits. Don't talk, stay mad, get smoked. Base as fuck.
How do you
Okay.
judge this?
He's out of breath.
You ban.
You're gonna
Yeah, no more alt streams
You're
for
gonna
me.
ban yourself.
I'm tired of alt streams.
Yeah, you
All right,
need
that's my
you
vote.
need more free time to fuck more moms. So
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got a very busy life here, driving your McLaren, fucking all these moms simultaneously.
There's just so much going on that it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't have any time.
Do you guys
God,
want to
this
decide
was
on this?
so
I can't
fun.
really
We
say
already did.
anything.
This was such a fun stream. Truly, they're so good. Their stream ideas are so good. Truly, between Scuffed Ones, Ban Appeal, the kitchen streams, like they are so concise. Like they do 4 hours. We hit 4 hours, and Nick was pretty much like, "All right, I'm done." We're like, "Oh, we can keep going," and he goes, "Nope, I'm good." Nick does his 4 hours, and then he's out. He's good. So their streams always feel super quick. It's, you know, it's really fun to be with other creators and doing content. It makes such a difference because, you know, usually streamers, you stream by yourself. I mean, I don't even stream with Will. I've done more streams at this point, I think, with Nick and Milena than I have technically with Will. Yeah, unless it's an event he's done in 4 hours. Yeah. He does his 4, and then he's like, "All right, I'm done. I'm done for the day." That's it. I go, "Well, what do you do the rest of the day then?" Then whatever I want. Because whatever I want. I'm done for the day. And by whatever he wants, he means Apex. We have 2 ban appeals if you want to have some fun. Both are content. Should I do them right now? I'll do them right now. We only did one. We only did one of my ban appeals because I only had one, technically. All right, let's do them. How should I access them? How long are your streams normally? I would say like 5 to 6 hours. I usually have like planned out streams. I do a lot of educational content. Down here it's gonna be really scuffed and quick. Especially because I've been getting up early. You guys know I'm a night owl. I do not get up early. And here we're 2 hours ahead of LA, so I'm getting up even earlier. So you're an actor, you've been in a few movies. Yep. I have done stage, I've done TV, I've done film. This should work. God. Oh my God. Oh, this fucking one. Because you're using light mode on Twitch? Well, how the fuck do I fix that? Okay, how do I fix it to click on your profile icon. All right, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Well, wait a second. I just changed it to dark. Well, how come I just changed this to dark here, but now I go over here.
Tier 1 sub to white mode.
Now I go
They
over
have given
here
40
and
gift
it
subs in the
is
channel.
still bright. Maybe refresh. Nope. Hogan, thank you for that gifted. No, it's Turtle F5. I don't have an F5 on this keyboard. It's too small. What about how about you don't have to see? I don't know, guys. Exit the tab and go back. All right, let me try this one more time. Okay, wait, where's the link for the bands? How do I go to the bands again? So many chatters gonna need LASIK. You guys are drama. You guys are drama. Thank you, Oro. You know, you think that I'm the theater kid? You guys are the ones who are drama. All right, this is not working. I know it's bright as fuck. Okay, don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. Yeah, I know you guys are all sitting in your dark caves. With mod view, take it off screen. View open. Access ban appeal. How the hell do I get to mod view? Okay, here's my channel. Oh, okay. That. Oh God, something weird is happening here. Oh, it's going crazy. Okay, all right. This is too complicated. All right, I'm just moving on. You know what? I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it myself. Okay? All right. Is anyone in the house? I literally am not gonna bother them. I am not gonna bother. Milena is getting ready for bed, and Nick is playing some Apex. You can take screenshots? Okay. Listen, I am usually a woman in STEM, but I am currently not on my own. I am not on my setup. All right? So there's not going to be a lot of woman in STEMing happening here. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to figure out the dark mode, light mode thing. I already clicked on my profile picture. I have the dark theme on. It's just not popping up in the tabs. Unfortunately. All right. Oh, what if I do this? Nope, that's still the same thing. Printed printed off on a dark piece of I'll print it off on a piece of paper and hold it up to the camera. Okay, why don't we just do it? We're here because you're funny, not because of our care for our health. Good. I hope you don't value having eyes. No. Well, all right. I think Dan is taking screenshots for me. Should new copy pasta. I'm canceling my tier 3 sub. 3 years. Will Neff. 3 years I donated to you, help you with tech issues. Kept Neff cord peaceful. 3 years of asking you to resync the Discord and chat and even on Twitter. 3 years wasted. I hope you read this. Throwing away my merch I got to wear in your name. What use do I have for this? You self-sucked right out of my life and my heart. I've just followed Doug. So long, Will. I hope it's worth it. For real. Off topic, but Emily had a hilarious cosplay IRL stream yesterday. I know, she came over to the house after she borrowed Nick's backpack. And she came over in her cosplay and was telling us about her stream. I was like, I don't understand how you just, I don't get how you do this. You just go out and you just go out into the world with your little backpack and your little smile. 061 ADU, thank you for the prime. Okay, I'm just gonna start reading these logs. Ready? She doesn't feel embarrassment. Yeah, that is key. You cannot feel embarrassment. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Thank you to Dan for saving y'all's eyeballs. Okay, here we go. So this one happened recently, and it happened when I was going over various Oscar controversies. So for the last couple weeks, I have been covering Oscars controversies leading up into the Oscars. And so the night that I was covering the Chris Rock, Will Smith slap, this person went cuckoo cuckoo. All right, here's the logs. Imagine getting mad over Chris Rock, LMFAO. I'm dead. Comedians can make fun of Jews, whites, and blacks, just not black women. Have you ever heard a black woman comedian? They're hilarious, LMFAO. LMFAO, this girl's off her rocker. Chris Rock is black, LMFAO. Stop making this a race and sex issue. At Token Reality, Jada's been through so much. It's so hard being a billionaire, cucking your husband, having anything she wants on her yacht. Let's just defend her. Shame on Chris Rock, that racist woman hater, LMAO. Thanks for the raid. Oh, right. Wait. Okay, hold on. That joke was a 1 out of 10 offensive. Let's be real here. Oh yeah, so this is the person that I accidentally rated when I meant to ban them. 5-year-olds on the playground go through worse shit. Get out of here. LMAO, you can't say all this and then give Aquafina the pass. You're so biased just for your agenda. You never are subjective. You do it every day by not covering that stuff. If you're going to sit here and talk about how awful Chris Rock is, then go out there and give us the full look of oppressed women. Let's sit and turn a blind eye. Caroline is selectively racist to black men who aren't on her side, but Aquafina gets the pass. LMAO, it's so easy to set y'all off. Who cares? I'm not the one in here mauling over selective racism. Oppress black men more, Caroline. You're in here oppressing black men every chance you get. Which is funny because in the slap situation, I was like, I wasn't like defending Will Smith, but you know, I was on the side of Jada Pinkett. You're only famous because you mooch off a white guy in a relationship. LOL. Don't sit here like you're better than anyone, kid. The truth is out there, how you treat black men. Yeah, and now everyone's going to cancel me because I said that fucking comment about Nick eating chicken today, and everyone's like, whoa, racist. I was like, no, he's always eating this fucking chicken and rice healthy meal. Okay? He was eating it this morning, and he's eating it yesterday morning. You just reminded me about that. Yes, Nick has these meals these like health meals. And when we were here last weekend and we were doing our cooking stream, Nick was eating this chicken and rice meal as we were making the cooking stream. And then today, when Milena was mauling over his chewing sounds, because he was eating this chicken and rice meal. You know what? I'm just out here oppressing black men every chance I get. Okay. This is my favorite. You're only famous because you mooch off a white guy in a relationship. Oh, that's funny. So I went to ban them because they were pissing me off, and I accidentally raided them. Thanks for the raid. You're welcome. Oops. And then I figured out how to ban them. And then I guess this was the ban appeal. You choose to go after black men and other issues of black culture, but never the stuff Asians do to blacks or something real that makes a difference. Your Fox News. Your Fox News. For the 15-year-old kids of privilege, feeding them BS ideologies. Wait, I don't understand this, because if I was Fox News, but never the stuff Asians do to blacks. Right. Fox News would never talk about that. You haven't struggled or lived the struggle a day in your life. Wearing designer clothes, dating a rich white dude. Hella real, bro. Hella helpful. Keep living in privilege, acting liberal when you give no shit about anyone but you. You guys, the funniest thing about this one is that I had spent, no joke, like the last 3 days specifically talking about how black people have struggled in Hollywood, right? Like I did the Hattie McDaniel stream. I did the Crash stream, or I did the Crash coverage. I did the Will Neff and Chris Rock slap and tried to approach it from this, you know, giving backstory to who Will Smith is, his relationship with Jada, you know, Chris Rock's disrespect of Jada Pinkett Smith. Like I had spent like, I mean, and not to discount all of the coverage that I've done for the 6 months of streaming, right? Like I am a political streamer, right? I cover the news. I cover Tyree Nichols. I I talk all the time about Asian and black solidarity and et cetera, et cetera. You said Will Neff, not Will Smith. Did you say the Will Neff slap? Did I say the Will Neff slap? Will Neff banned from the Oscars. Will Neff slapped Chris Rock. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. Anyway, Bucky Gamer, thank you for the prime. Anywho, this was one of those things that fucking pissed me off when it was happening, and then later on that night I was laughing. The whole Awkwafina thing made me laugh. And it's funny because the reason I was laughing is because I actually can't stand Awkwafina. And I actually, in my day-to-day, talk so much shit on Aquafina. And that's why it's so funny. Because I actually can't fucking stand her. Never in my life. I actually got to a point in my personal life where I was like, I have to stop talking about Aquafina so much. I wanted to nuke chat so bad that night. I know. And anyway, so this was hilarious. And you know what? You can stay banned, you stupid fuck. Okay, let's do the second one. This one's doesn't have as many. Are you guys gonna freak out if I show you this? Yeah, that chatter. I'm literally grasping at straws. Are you gonna freak out if I show you this screen? Are y'all gonna talk about your eyeballs burning? Flashbang. Okay, this one's fast. This is fast. So you're just gonna go. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Dan has the solution. Okay, great. Once again, you can all thank having eyeballs. You get to keep your eyeballs because of Dan. Okay, here's a ban appeal. It's not gnarly. I don't even know what I was talking about. Kind of funny because I just saw Prey, which is a good movie with Native Americans. At Zombie Drip, people are the product of their environment. Do you think racism is growing again? That's anecdotal. It's not, because you didn't follow the mindset of people around you that it doesn't happen to others. You are an exception. And then I'm not. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. This is so funny. Do you think racism is growing again? No, brother. It is not. Racism? It's over. What's wrong with Aquafina? She just drives me fucking nuts. It got to I don't need to get into the whole thing. I just as an actress, I don't like Aquafina. And then there was all this shit she did where she like she put on this black scent and it was part of her comedic shtick. And then, you know, rightfully so, people were like, hey, don't talk with a black scent and like do this whole black woman vibe. And she was like, oh, okay. As part of the shtick. Yeah, she's a bit grating. She would listen, I liked her in The Farewell. I think what it was is like once she dropped the black scent and kind of her whole shtick, she was much better of an actress. Much better an actress. I thought The Farewell she was good in. The Farewell was like the first movie with her that I watched. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, okay, back to this. I'm not defending bigotry. Question mark. Zombie Drit, you had other influences like media who fight against racism. What? It's not like you only had contact with those races. Now imagine if you only know racist people in your life. From childhood. They do, LOL. Yeah, don't know why you are fighting me. Guess you discriminate others for no reason. This is to my mod. How am I annoying? We are just having a discussion, robot face. That right there is annoying. I'm sorry. I thought we were having a discussion. If you only know racist people in your whole life, the chance of you being racist is very high. Okay, here's the mod comments. Oh, we were talking about John Wayne. Debate lording in chat about John Wayne being a racist piece of shit, continuing to at other chatters after being directly asked to stop. Long message history with me carrying on the argument. You are a fucking loser. Okay, so this is my mod. Banning me for having a discussion. Which things were wrong what I said? Read my chat, imbecile. LMAO. Get fucked, pissant. So you banned me for no reason. No, I banned you for debate lording in chat. No one likes you, loser. How did I debate lord? Can't I defend my arguments? I was having a discussion with someone else and you started attacking me and other people called me a bigot. I made no attack on you. Anyway, okay, all right. So this just you're the perfect stereotype of an internet mod. Oh my god. Okay. All right. So here's the ban appeal. You guys, what if this ended up being like a rom-com, a love story between Dan, my mod, and then this chatter? People shy? It starts off as like, you know, it starts off as like two people who get in a fight in Twitch DMs and one person gets banned. Yeah, new age, you got mail. That's what I'm talking about. Dan TC is a bigoted, power-hungry, sociopathic loser mod who can't push people around in real life because his social AK manipulation skills suck and people see right through him. Hence, he has to resort to bullying people on Twitch. Wow, got him. Got him. He def came from Hassan chat. You know what? Keep him banned then. Yeah, copy pasta that shit. Dan TC is a bigoted, power-hungry, sociopathic loser mod who can't push people around in real life. And then that was it. All right. Just those two little guys. Cool. You know what? That's actually I feel pretty good about that. You know, either people who are banned don't give enough of a shit to ban appeal, or that means that we don't really have to ban people that often because this is a real cool growing community. Based. Hoggers. 90s trailer voice. He was just a mod for a Twitch streamer until he met an unhinged Twitch chatter. Because you just raid them, that is true. People don't get banned because I end up just raiding them, you know. It is what it is. I guess that's what I do. I said that today during the ban appeals, and everyone looked at me and they were like, "What? How? 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 How do you do these things?" I said, "I don't know, you know. Do you ask geniuses how they're so genius?" Yeah. Can I irritate you so you will raid me? Well, the funny thing too is that I didn't know, even if I had intentionally tried to raid this person, which I wasn't, I didn't know that that could be considered hate raiding. Like that's a hate thing that you can get in trouble for. LMAO, you call yourself a Caroline fan? I'm fucking loaded on channel points, bro. I highlight every message because I'm just that jacked. Try talking in chat again when you're a true fan. Bruh. Bruh. All right. What else? Oh, I saw this. Nope, not that. Not that again. Nope. Nope. Okay, here we go. What? So, Joe Exotic is running for president. We've got one guy. You guys, okay, the flashbang. How do I? All right. Okay. Go. Okay. Okay. Settings. Well, now how do I change the settings on here? All right. Okay. I don't know how to change this. Let's see. let's check this out. Okay, I'm in the settings. It's because I'm not on my home computer, everybody. I told you, woman in STEM, it's not happening today. That was so white, it's starting to feel racist. All right. How about accessibility, display? Okay. What do we like? What do we like better? Do we like dim or lights out? What's the move? I think that's good. I think this is too dark. I think that's good. Okay. All right. Now, back to this. Back to this. Why do you always go for the white screens and not the black screens? Because I'm racist. So this motherfucker who's in prison is running for president. So we've got one guy who's running for president from federal prison, and then we've got another guy who's running for president to avoid federal prison. Okay, so here's Joe Exotic's statement. Thank you for your interest in my Wait, what's his fucking voice? Thank you for your interest in my campaign. Yes, I know I'm in federal prison, and you might think this is a joke, but it's not. It is my constitutional right to do this even from here. That is so not his voice. That is not his voice. Hey, all, wait, what was what's her name's voice? It was like, hey, all, fuck, Carol Baskin. All you cats and kittens. Oh, all you cats and kittens. Anyway, can we gamble on which party he's running in? He's running in the party of freedom. I have been put here only because of the corruption in the Department of Justice. 3 felons that were told how to lie under oath to further this agenda. 2 corrupt assistant U.S. attorneys, 2 corrupt FBI agents, and 1 corrupt federal wildlife agent. As seen by the evidence, you can see that they have admitted to perjury, and they even have a plot to kill me before they set me up. I hope that you would take the time to educate yourself before judging me any further than most of you already have. Because during this campaign of my life, I have not and I will not judge you. That is why I'm doing this, to finally give you a voice and your freedom back. Baby, we're not the ones in federal prison. Without fear of living in a country that thinks they own you and can tell you how to live your life. Again, baby, we're not the ones in federal prison. The only thing I did was put 5 very old crippled tigers to sleep in the most humane way possible, and it was approved by my USDA inspector, so it's time to get over it. PETA kills thousands of animals a year. Wow, he came for PETA. Carol has killed over 226 big cats, and most of you eat some kind of animal every day, so it's time to move past this issue. I'm here because I have a world platform to make these politicians listen to your and my concerns and give us some answers, because once all they do is lie to all of us, take our hard-earned money, calling it taxes, and give it away to foreign countries without them giving us anything back. Great. So this is a long paragraph, and then he ends with, so put aside that I am gay, that I am in prison for now, that I used drugs in the past, that I had more than one boyfriend at once, and that Carol hates my guts. This is all has not a thing to do with me being able to be your voice. Best thing you have going for sporting me is that I'm used to fighting my whole life just to get by. So put aside, honest to God, that just reminds me of that reminds me of this John Mulaney sketch bit.
Down the street, and a homeless guy came up to me. And he walked up to me and he pushed me like that. He pushed me in the chest. And then he said, these things in this order. He pushed me and he said, excuse me, I am homeless. I am gay. I have AIDS. I'm new in town.
I don't care. OMG, reading like this. I know. I know. I know. Should I go back into politics and work on Joe Exotic's campaign? Oh my god, you guys, this is so fucking funny. TikTok is so good. So the caption of this is TV shows when an actress is pregnant IRL, but not in the show.
Hey, Rumi, I'm going to the store. Do you need anything? Jason, we really need to talk. Jason, seriously, we need to talk. Hey, Rumi, I'm going to the store. Do you need anything? No, I don't think so. We've been best friends for 11 years, and I'm not about to let one tiny fight.
Shit!
Rumi, I'm going to the store. Do you need anything? Jason, we need anything? No, I don't think so. We've been best friends for 11 years, and I'm not about to let one tiny fight separate us. Jason, do not walk away from me. You walk away, this thing is over. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna fight for us. Because this matters to me. Has it ever mattered to you? Or have the last 2 years of your life and my life together meant nothing? Jason, you walk away, it's over. Hey, Rumi, I'm going to the store. Do you need anything? Hey, Rumi, I'm going.
Dude, this is so true. Let me think of wait, who there I'm trying to remember the show. I'm trying to remember the show when the actress in it was so fucking pregnant. I mean, it happens all the time. It happens all the time, but there was one show in particular that she no. She gained a lot of weight. Like she gained a lot of pregnancy weight, and it was very it was so obvious when you were watching. Oh fuck, I can't remember the show. Maybe it was Bones. I know there was a point in there that Emily Deschanel was pregnant. Fuck, it's gonna drive me nuts. It's gonna drive me nuts. And they always had her in front of let me just do a quick one. I miss Bones too. That show fucking ruled, man. Ba ba ba. Well, I find it. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. It'll probably come to me. It'll come to me, and then I will remember to mention it the next time I stream. Wait, Will is flying back and forth for game day? Yes. He is he's supposed to be flying tomorrow. He has not told me when he's coming. So, that would be nice to know. Wait, this is the funniest stand-up comedian alive right now. I have not watched this person. Okay, wait, let me see. Yeah, I have not been watching a lot of stand-up these days. Am I going to the Ren Fair with Will? Yes. Yesh. And then I think we're going to cosplay next weekend. So this is James Acaster. He's great. I don't think I've watched him before. Amazing. So he has four Netflix specials. He does a lot of the panel shows in the UK. Got it. Yeah, I like feel like I have not. Is the actress in here? Let me see. It's one of those things that I feel like as soon as I see it, it will come. It will come to me. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I was. Boop boop dee doop. Do not come. Oh wait, maybe? Okay, this isn't what I'm thinking about, but did anybody watch the show Monk? Okay, because Natalie Teeger was pregnant in that in the later seasons, and they built in an episode where she pretends to be pregnant. They do that a lot in shows where the actress IRL is pregnant. So they just have them like they have their character pretend to be pregnant for some reason or another. But then you'll see in subsequent episodes, she's like always in front of a lamp. She's always carrying like something in front of her belly. My mother has bad OCD, so she watched a lot of it. I fucking love Monk. I love Monk. I wish we could watch an episode of Monk. It's such a great show. I've watched it multiple times. I actually, correct me if I'm wrong, like people who have real OCD or who have family or friends who have real OCD, it actually does portray OCD in one of the more accurate ways. OCD is not like, oh my God, I take forever to decide what I'm going to wear going out. I have OCD. I feel like OCD is a term that is being used. Caroline, I'm your biggest fan. There's real skill that goes into doing. Isn't that a copy pasta? I feel like a lot of people are using OCD to describe themselves when they're not actually OCD and they don't know what OCD means. Yeah, it's like I'm OCD equals quirky. You're like, no. OCD is very debilitating. It's a compulsive disorder. Yeah, people who are like, oh my God, I just have to be organized. I'm so OCD.
Hi, smile.
It's like, well, no, OCD is can be very debilitating and not in a I just hate having a messy house. Abraxas, thank you for the 7 months. OCD is often compulsively ritualistic behavior. Yeah. Or like people who wash their hands so much that their skin gets raw and their skin cracks and it's bloody. But it gets thrown around so loosely. Same with ADHD. I'm going to keep it a buck. I think there's a lot of people who diagnose themselves with ADHD and bipolar, or ADHD and OCD. What is this? A basic OCD clip I saw the other day? Okay, hold on. Let me start a little bit. Okay, she is going so fast. Wowie. I was trying to record a day in the life, but got stuck in an OCD loop at the sink instead. One of the longest loops I'll get stuck in is making sure I'm flexing my arm and wrist muscles correctly and until it feels right. Let's try again. Starting to feel secondhand embarrassment when completely alone.
Okay. Imagine your ancestors is watching you.
Imagine your ancestors are watching you. Hi, it was fun to see you on NMP LOL's stream. Thanks.
Freaking out washing your hands. What's 2023 like? Well, you got stuck at the sink for 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It makes it so hard to talk about my ADHD at work because it's really bad, and everyone, even in HR, is like, oh, I've got a little bit of that. Right. Exactly. And so what happens is that people who like seriously have ADHD or OCD or bipolar, right? It gets diminished because everyone's like, oh yeah, I have that too. Or, oh, you know, I mean, this is like how my mom treats anxiety sometimes. So my little sister has like really bad anxiety, the type of anxiety where she spirals out and she can't, she starts going down a spiral, and it just gets out of control. And it can start with something so simple as like, she's asking me a question about something, and then I give her an answer that either isn't the answer she expected or that she wanted, and then she just starts like spiraling out from there. My mother, when years ago, my sister was trying to explain to her that like these feelings that she had, just like real disparage, and that she thinks that she has anxiety. And my mom was like, everybody's got anxiety. Like, I've got anxiety. You know, anxiety is something all you kids try to say these days that you have. But you know, I mean, like, life is hard. We all have anxiety. I was like, well, Mom, there is, you know, there's like a normal amount of being anxious, sure. And then there's actually having anxiety disorder. Boomers and mental health, dude, for real. For real. Boomers are like, oh, we've all got that. Like, well, some of you definitely do, and it went undiagnosed and untreated. Everyone feels anxiety sometimes. It's an evolutionary acquired trait that helps us survive, but they're anxiety disorders. Exactly. Bada bing, bada boom. So I had to explain that to my mom, where I was like, yes, we all can feel anxiety. We all know that feeling of anxiousness, but it's not the same thing as having an anxiety disorder where like you need to take medicine or you will end up spiraling into like having a panic attack. Yeah. Like my sister experiences severe physical symptoms. Anxiety disorders are like an allergic reaction, but for your brain instead of your immune system overreacting to bullshit. Wow, that actually is a great way of putting it. That makes a lot of sense. As someone with a diagnosed OCD and ADHD, I know it's not a fun thing to brag about, especially combined with anxiety. I know. And how did this happen? Was it just like the internetification of everything where like, because something becomes more normalized, more discussed, people are open about, you know, whatever mental health struggles they have or whatever disorders that they have. And then people read something and they go, oh my God, I think I have that. Like that has to have been what happened, right? I blame everything on the internet. Really hard to understand if you've never directly experienced it. I had a tough time understanding what it was until I met my wife who had a diagnosed anxiety disorder, and I felt horrible for how I had acted when learning alongside her early on. I've experienced that too. Like TikTok made it worse. TikTok has made everything worse. So when I was down in New Orleans a couple of years ago, this is really dumb, but one night I was with all my siblings, and we had been hanging out in the quarter, and we were walking back to our Airbnb, and my sister had gotten these gummies, but they weren't weed gummies. They were supposedly like oh fuck, what were they? They were what were these gummies? Anyway, CBD. CBD, yes, CBD gummies. But they weren't supposed to have any effects. It wasn't supposed to make you feel high. So apparently she had gotten these gummies too from some little like hole in the wall bodega type thing. Gets these CBD gummies. We're walking home to the Airbnb. She's like, "Do you want one?" I was like, "Oh, is it weed? Because I don't want a weed gummy." And she's like, "No, it's not weed. It's this like CBD gummy." And I went, "Okay, but it's not gonna make me high, right?" And she goes, "No, it's not." I was like, "Okay, because the packaging looks a little sus, and the place that you bought them from looked a little sus. So I just want to be clear." It's like, "No." So I take this thing and I don't feel anything from it. And so 30 minutes later, she's like, "Do you want another one?" I was like, "Sure." So I take another one and we're back in our Airbnb and we're hanging out. And suddenly I find myself feeling really high. And I'm like, whoa. And this has happened before. Like we've all had, I, like many of us, have had a weed gummy that goes wrong, but this wasn't weed. It wasn't weed. So I'm sitting there at Delta 8. Bro, yes, it was Delta 8. Yes. So sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening to me? Because in my head, I was like, you didn't consume weed. So like, you shouldn't be experiencing this. And I was sitting and I was talking to my sisters and finally I just go, I'm so sorry. I'm really high and I'm getting increasingly higher. And it's kind of making me scared because I don't know why I'm feeling this. And I turned to my sister Cece, who's a huge pothead, and she was like, "Okay, I didn't want to say anything either, but like I'm kind of feeling high too." And as soon as she said that, I started freaking out more because I'm like, "Oh my God, what is going on? Like what was in those gummies?" And I kept feeling myself get higher and higher and higher. And so what happened was, even though I have smoked my fair share of weed, what's up, Mafia Jinx? Smoked my fair share of weed. I've done gummies. Like I know what it feels like to be high. I started panicking because in my brain, I was like, "You're not supposed to be feeling this. So what the fuck did you take?" And it was just this like weird, I don't know, it was like this battle happening in my brain. I started having a panic attack and I didn't realize I was having a panic attack. Because I've never had a panic attack, like a full panic attack, I thought that something bad was happening to me. The paranoia was setting in. My heart started thumping. My heart rate was going fucking insane. And I'm getting more and more frightened that like I'm dying. And especially because at that time, like not necessarily just in New Orleans, but there were all these reports going around and it's still happening of like bad drugs, et cetera, et cetera. My friend Teresa, I remembered a story then where she was telling me about these Delta 8 things. And I didn't realize that that's what Cece had bought. And she's like, yeah, there was this guy who bought Delta 8 off the street and he died. So then I was thinking of that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking dying. And then meanwhile, my two other sisters who consume this Delta 8 shit, they start talking about how they're really high. And I'm like, oh my God, my parents are going to lose 3 kids. 3 out of their 5 kids are fucking dying, are going to die from this shit. My panic attack is increasing. But at the same time, I'm like trying to stay calm. I'm like trying not to freak out my sisters. But I get up and I start pacing and I'm like, yeah, I just like don't think that this is, I just don't think I'm okay. I think that there's something like really, really, really wrong here. And in my head, I'm like fucking freaking out, but I'm sure I didn't seem that way. And my sister looks at me and she's like, And I was describing my symptoms, and I go, I think whatever was in that package that you bought is I think it was bad drugs. Like, I think I'm having an overdose or something. And I'm describing my symptoms, and my sister goes, "Oh, you're having a panic attack right now." And I'm like, "What? No. I don't think I'm having a panic attack. I think I'm like actually like I think these drugs. I think I'm dying from the drugs. I think I'm dying from the drugs." She's like, "No. You're having a panic attack, and the symptoms that you're feeling feel it panic attacks, you feel like you're having a heart attack." And she was so calm. This is my older sister who didn't consume these fucking gummies. And she's like, "Hold on a second." And she goes and she gets a Xanax for me. And she gives me a Xanax. She's like, you'll start to feel better in about 20 minutes or so. And meanwhile, like I'm convinced that I'm not having a panic attack, because it's like, no, this is not a panic attack, even though I've never had a panic attack, so I wouldn't know what it feels. It's like I think that I am possibly dying from whatever the hell this gummy thing was. And she's like, "No, it's a panic attack." And anyway, the Xanax kicks in. I realized that, yes, I was having a panic attack. I start to calm down, and I said to her, I was like, "First of all, thanks, W sister. I don't know what I would have done without you." She's like, "Oh, it's okay. That happens to me all the time." I go, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I have panic attacks all the time." She goes, "Why do you think I have so much Xanax?" And I went, "So the sensation that I felt, you feel all the time?" And she said, "Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, I had a panic attack the other night that was so bad." She goes, "Even though I knew it was a panic attack, I did think I was dying." I was like, wow, that is horrible. And anyway, the reason I told this long-winded story, it was in response to somebody's comment where they're like, you don't sometimes understand these things until you've experienced it yourself, or you, I don't know, just somehow have your eyes open to this shit of like what a real panic attack is, right? What a real anxiety disorder is. I don't have an anxiety disorder, but I did experience a panic attack that night. And my God, it was terrifying. You'd think you'd get used to it, but nope, it's dumb. You just get better at managing while feeling like you're dying. That's exactly what she said. She was like, "Yeah, it never like gets better. You just, in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, I need to take this. I need to do that. I need to lay down." She's like, "But the scariest thing is that you don't know when they're going to happen." She's like, "They can just come out of the blue, and suddenly, she's like, you can't breathe, you can't see, your heart is racing and pounding, and it's terrifying." I was like, wow, that is fucking scary. And what happened to Will one night, and he's told this story on stream, he had this meeting with Twitch about this show that Twitch wanted him to do. And at this point in his life, Will was extremely overwhelmed. He was overwhelmed with G4. He was overwhelmed with 100 Thieves. He was overwhelmed with his stream. There was just too much going on with him. He wasn't sleeping, wasn't able to work out. He wasn't able to have his routine. He was just doing too much. So he goes in for this meeting with Twitch. And they basically, it was like a fuck all meeting. And they it was horrible. He thought he was going to walk in there and this show was going to be a completely different thing, and it was not. They basically just wanted to sell like 2 hours of ad space. So what happened is that he started to have a panic attack in this meeting, and he pretty much had to leave the meeting, and he sat in his car and he experienced a panic attack. And he didn't know, I don't know if he knew it was a panic attack at the time. He just knew that he like had to get out of there, and he was about to fall the fuck apart. And he came home and he was describing what happened to him, or I think he called me. And I said to him, because of course now I was an expert having gone through my own panic attack, I was like, "Oh my God, you had a panic attack. You had like a real serious panic attack, and I am actually not surprised. It's been a long time coming, I feel, because of how overwhelmed you've been, that like I genuinely think this was the final straw and it just broke you. First time it happens, it's always the worst because you don't know what it is and you genuinely feel like you're going to die 1,000%. And if you don't have somebody there who can recognize the symptoms in you and hopefully have some Xanax, then it's awful. It's terrifying. And I'm so glad that I had my sister with me there that night. But then I was really sad that this was something that she experiences all the time. How long have you and Will been together? Almost 6 years. But anywho, anyway, that was kind of a long-winded way of saying that, yeah, sometimes you don't understand something until you've experienced it yourself. But at the same time, you know, we need to be careful about not just diagnosing ourselves with whatever the word of the day is, because it does diminish the severity and the seriousness of for people who actually have that disorder. You know? I think it's good to have empathy and sympathy for people, but not necessarily just go, oh yeah, I have that too. I have that too. Right? Because that's not something that you want to have. And you're lucky if you don't have OCD, if you don't have, you know, an anxiety disorder. It's awesome you're talking about this in a normal way. Yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about mental health much on this stream. But it's something that I'm very happy to always talk about openly. Mental health is something where I have I, like anybody else, have definitely had some really, really, really awful times in my life, but I do consider myself lucky that I do not have clinical depression or an anxiety disorder. I can feel depressed. I can feel anxious. But I know the difference between the two. However, you know, during the pandemic, I did experience a period of depression, and I think it actually almost helped after the fact to have me or to help me be much more open talking about mental health, understanding mental health, knowing the difference between, you know, my experience with depression and then somebody who is clinically depressed. Like, I have very close friends and family members who are clinically depressed. Yes, they are on antidepressants. They are, you know, constantly having to find something that works for them. So, you know, the one thing I have is I am a streamer, though, and I have a platform where I hope everybody always feels comfortable and, you know, we can have these discussions so you don't feel alone. And, you know, there are other people in this community who can relate to you because they also, you know, they also go through the same thing. Thank you. Thank you for doing more to raise awareness about this all too common affliction. Okay, what is this? What is this?
I have crippling depression.
That was iDubbbz? Wait, that
I have
that is iDubbbz? No. That is iDubbbz? 'Dubbbz? Doesn't look like him. You guys, I don't really know who iDubbbz is outside of him doing the boxing thing. And, okay, so, point of view, you're about to hear a slur. Okay, so, I didn't know who he was. I knew his name because of the Creator Clash last year. And then on Twitter, I saw that this clip of him on Anthony Padilla's show was going around, and people were talking shit on iDubbbz. So I said to the Austin folk, we were all sitting around, and I was like, wait a second. Is iDubbbz canceled, or like do people not like him? Is he a jerk or something? And they were like, no. He's great. He used to, be an edgelord and had created toxic community, et cetera, et cetera. They're like, but he's a good person, and he's not like that anymore. And I was like, okay, well then why is Twitter all ablaze? And I was like, oh, well, of course, I can probably answer my own question. And it goes, it speaks to this raging debate about if somebody should ever be given a second chance again, right? And we've gotten to a point that we are not allowing room for anybody to be reformed. Hassan spent 17 hours talking about him today. Okay, so I'm going to spend like 1 minute. I mean, it's frustrating, right? And you would hope that, not saying that like we're saying the N-word or terrible things, but like if there were something that happened to any of us in chat and we were then forever viewed that way, with no room for reforming or rehabilitating or second chance or anything, then that's a very scary place to be. And it's not the same thing as right-wingers being like, cancel culture, We're not all suddenly agreeing with people on the right who are decrying cancel culture. We're just saying, though, that there should be, and I don't know the iDubbbz situation, okay? I don't know him. I don't know his journey. I don't know, I don't know anything about him. I'm just saying, in general, I do think that we need to live in a world where there is space for people who have made mistakes, who, were bad once upon a time, depending on what they did, and grew up and realized that they didn't want to be that type of person, that they wanted to choose a different path, and they did, and they worked so hard every single day to make sure that they are, they have put so much distance between who they are today and who they were in the past. Like Filthy Frank, exactly. It was touching when Hassan, a white man, forgave iDubbbz, a white man, for his racism. I mean, that's the white man should be forgiving the other white man for racism. I think it depends on the efforts they make after claiming they will change. Yes, 100%, right? And there are people who claim that they've changed, want a second chance, etc., etc. And it's very clear that they still are who they are and never will change. But then there are others who actively do try to be better. And there are people who grow up, I was lucky that I grew up in a family where we weren't racist and ignorant. Well, I mean, my parents are liberals, so there is still like a degree to that. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like we weren't throwing the N-word around. We weren't blatantly racist. Let's just say that. I'm lucky that I grew up in that environment. But there are a lot of people who grew up and they didn't know any better. they grew up with families who were extremely ignorant and normalized bigotry and racism and using the N-word, et cetera, et cetera. And then, and then those kids grow up and some of them realize like, oh, I'm not my family. You can't choose the family that you're born into, but you do have the choice what path you take as an adult. I do believe that. I know a lot of people whose families are right wing, who are, fundamentalists, who are, whatever. And as adults, they're, the kids who grew up in those families and then becoming adults wanted a different life for themselves. People can change, some change for the better and some for the worse, but people deserve a chance to try. I grew up in a racist family, but I got away from it. Exactly. Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. I know you're new to Twitch, but NMP and Melina are the best. They are. I'm so happy to be here. And also, like, being racist on the internet, that was like... Yeah. Like 12 nerds being ironic. Yeah. It was this idea of edgelord like comedy content. The Black Chatter, I understand that when I go into a space, there's a chance that there are people in it that years ago have thrown around the N-word because it was edgy or they were racist, but I also hold out the belief for empathy and wanting people to change for the better. IDub showed that he couldn't did. Yeah, I mean, we want people to be able to change, right? We don't want to live in a world where there's no room for allowing people to be better. This is what we fight for. We fight for progress. We fight for living in a world where we try to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And as an Asian person, I had friends who reached out to me as an Asian woman, when all of the shit was going down in 2020, and specifically after the massacre at the Atlanta spa. I had some friends reach out to me from college, and they were like, I wanted to just say that I am sorry. I'm sorry for not only what's happening to Asian people, but I am sorry because I've looked back on the things that I said in college and the way that I treated you and would refer to you as my Asian friend, right? Like, why did I refer to you as my Asian friend rather than just my friend? That's something that I've realized. And I had a lot of my friends and people I hadn't talked to in a while who reached out to me, and it was very clear that they had been paying attention to what was going on and doing some soul searching and looking at their own lives. And it was almost like they were making amends. And my response to them was like, listen, I love you. I haven't like held this against you, but I do appreciate you realizing that racism is nuanced, right? And you weren't calling me a chink, but the actions and the words that you would, that you took towards me are those like nuanced spots of, racism. And those are the trickier conversations to have. Those are really hard conversations to have, and to have people understand that. And so the fact that they understood it on their own from doing their own reading and looking inwards and understanding and not coming to me and asking me to explain that stuff. And realizing that they had reduced me so often to my race and realizing now all these years later, like why that was not cool. And so rather than coming to me and having to explain that to them, they just came to me to say, I understand and I'm sorry. And I was like, cool. I mean, thanks. Like, I appreciate that. We're good. I love you. Yeah. Anyway, so it's not like these people were terrible people. You know, this is not an example I'm using to describe people who were like awful human beings, but these are people who once upon a time were not as they were not as conscious about the things that they say and the things that they do, and that was because of growing like where they grew up and how they grew up, and it was the Midwest, and those types of things were so normalized, and when we weren't having these conversations about race the way that we do now. I'm glad IDubbbz has changed. I'm glad when anyone can grow, but being lectured about it from others all day really sucks. Like Edgelord's like, IDubbbz made the internet suck back then. Yeah, that sucks dick. And I hope I don't sound like I'm lecturing, because again, I don't know any of IDubbbz's content. I only know him as the boxer guy. So I'm not familiar with his history with his content. I guess I'm speaking from a place of, it sounds like he's a guy who said a lot of shit, said a lot of bad things, but actively has worked on distancing himself from that person. Yeah, it used to be really offensive and contrarian on purpose. Totally. I am glad for Joji for making it in the music industry. Same. 100%. Hated seeing it when his audience was all racist. Yeah, I mean, that was probably a big wake-up call, right? Where he was like, well, wait a second. I've been saying these things ironically, and yet everyone else is in here non-ironically. Wow. Ooh. That's not good. Aware. Yeah. I just don't have the energy anymore. Yeah, that's fair. Not everyone could be.
Do you like this top?
Not everyone could be a woke activist like Hillary Duff.
So gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when
what a queen.
You mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh,
oh my god.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say?
I literally do not remember this. I do not remember this, and I'm older than you. 14 years ago? Where the fuck was I? Yeah, Kendall Jenner wishes. Kendall Jenner wishes she could. Real question, what do I think about Extra Emily's art in the living room? Put it in the MoMA. Honestly, they should cut out that wallpaper and put it in the MoMA. That was a huge campaign. Who was running that campaign? The Don't Say Gay? Don't Say Gay campaign. 14 years ago, so that would have been what, 2009?
Chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
You know what's interesting? One of my best friends who's gay says to me the F word daily. Oh, my gay friends throw around the F slur all the time. But it's like black people who say the N word, right? Where there are communities who have reclaimed these words, right? Because they say they you know, when they use it, they're like it's a term of affection. And it's interesting because this has kind of been, wasn't this kind of the argument that was happening when Keffels was using the R slur? And then other people who were supporting her, who were saying that they were disabled or autistic, et cetera, they were using it too, and they were supporting her use of it. And it feels like it's 2023, and we almost went from like, you had these don't say gay campaigns, right? Don't say the, yeah, R slur equals retweet. Don't say the R word. Don't say the F word. And now I feel like I'm hearing this even more. I'm hearing it even more in 2023 than I did 5-10 years ago. My gay friends keep making F slur stickers in my Discord to the point I had to explain it to new people when they joined. Oh, Austin, when we were joking about taking our show on the road, when we did that, did you see the SNL skit on these ads? No. When Austin and I did the karaoke performance together, and we were like, okay, we're gonna take our show on the road. What are we gonna call ourselves? And the response, the answer that Austin came up with, I was like, I can't say that, okay? He's like, great. So you say the first part, and then I'll say the second part. It was like, why don't we just keep workshopping this? Why don't we just go back to the drawing table on this one, okay? I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like the singing. No, it was like the it was like the, oh God, the singing F words. Like Austin. No. Maybe fabulous. I can't remember. I can't remember what the either adjective or noun was. I can't remember, but whatever it was, like Austin. No, no. All right, let's watch. No, I just did something and I can hear myself. Wait a second. I haven't been able to hear. I just realized I haven't been able to hear myself for 2 hours. What the fuck did I just hit? Women in STEM. Oh my God. Because when I was listening before, I couldn't hear shit. So that's why I was turning the volume up so loud. That's gay. Okay, wait. I did pause it at the punchline. Wait, I'm so sorry. I paused it at the punchline because I cannot believe I can't believe I can hear myself. Women in STEM. Turn on the direct monitoring button. Oh my God, this is so exciting. And I feel like SNL really wait, I'm so confused what I hit, okay? I must have hit something on here. I can't believe I can hear myself. Wow, it's so nice. It's so nice to be able to hear. Now my voice is lower. Yeah, because I turned down the mic because it was blasting my ears. But there we go. There we go. There we go. Hey Caroline, I really enjoyed your Oscar streams and came across this TikTok about the real reason why the Oscars were created.
Have you ever wondered why?
Sign me up. I thought you might be interested. Well, you know. Okay. All right. You know what was so funny? Right after, maybe it was the same night that I did my Oscars stream, I saw some clip of XQC and people were asking him about the Oscars, and he was like, "Oh, dude, no, I don't watch the Oscars anymore. Like the Oscars are stupid and dumb." As I'm spending 5 hours plus all the other hours before talking about the Oscars. Like, yeah, I might be the only person Twitch streamer who gives a shit.
Have you ever wondered why the Oscars were invented? Well, let me tell you. It's actually an interesting story, and it involves a lot of brilliance. Evil, but brilliance. And this is probably something they don't want you to know about because, hey, this doesn't exactly bode well for them, but it's true. The Oscars was created by a guy by the name of Louis B. Mayer. This guy right here. And Louis B. Mayer was a genius. He was so smart. He was evil, but he was extremely smart. They called him the Lion of Hollywood, and for good reason. And he basically figured out that, oh, wait, these artists are forming groups and they're organizing to protect their wages. What can I do? Oh, I'm going to form my own organization.
Mr. Mayer is the gentleman who originally conceived the idea of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
But it wasn't a union of workers. It was a union of basically studio heads that ran Hollywood at the time. He organized the top heads, 20th Century, Warner Brothers, United Artists.
Be they communist or Nazi.
And MGM obviously was the head of the Academy. And what they did was they basically corralled to prevent unions from forming and labor negotiations from ever taking place. For Mayer, you know, the Oscars was all about manipulation. He said this is a direct quote from Mayer himself. I found that the best way to handle filmmakers was to hang medals all over them. If I got the cups and awards, they'd kill themselves to produce what I wanted. That's why the Academy Award was created. So yes,
wait
Louis
a
B. Mayer
second. Is this why the Streamer Awards were created?
This is just brilliant. He fed into the narcissism of artists. He knew, you know, because he probably had like psychologists working from around the clock. They're like, hey, artists are narcissistic and they just want validation. So if you give them validation not in the form of actually wages that they deserve, but in these little gold things, they're going to totally abide by whatever you want. And he got away with this kind of behavior because at the time, despite FDR being in power, Los Angeles was run by the municipal government of LA, which at the time was like right-wing Republicans, and they were all scared of the C word. Not that C word, communists. They had a red squad in this LAPD their entire detail was, let's figure out who the communists are, who might be organizing, and thwart any of their methods. So he had the police back him, he was good. This organization was a resounding success. So for example, in 1933, during the Great Depression, when things were looking a bit shaky, L.B. Mayer was like, okay, we gotta cut everyone's wages in half.
I am asking to roll back salaries.
And what did he have to do? He just had to call the Academy, which were the other studio heads, and they all basically organized together behind the workers' backs and said, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to cut everyone's wages in half. And the Oscars were a resounding success for Louis B. Mayer. He was the first man in America to make $1 million in a year, which was a lot at that time. And for nearly a decade, he was the highest paid man in all of America. Take that in for a second. But the Oscars have changed, right? I mean, it's not about giving awards to thwart any kind of organization or public appeal for change or reformation, right? No, it's legit now. But just remember, that little gold thing at the end of the yellow brick road might be just distracting enough to keep you from asking questions like,
That was great TikTok. I love how that cuts off like that. Now I'm wondering about the Streamer Awards. He was called the mayor in Metro Golden Mayor, so yeah, of course he was called the Lion. Plus he was evil. Yeah. For reals. Do you think we can get you nominated for something next year? I have no idea. I really don't know. A new level in the R-word discourse. Oh God. I don't really know what I would be up for next year. Well, here's the thing with Rising Star. So they're probably going to be changing the category because there was kind of drama about it this year, and there was drama that was dumb, and then there was drama that actually had some truth and made some sense, had some sense to it. And Cutie agreed. Like the category was confusing. There need to be There just need to be categories that are almost more specific and that help out streamers who are under, who aren't just under 100 viewers and aren't just under 1,000 viewers, but also ones that like, are maybe over 1,000 or maybe over 100, but they're just getting, they just get lost in the sauce there. Rising Star will be up and comer, and Rising Star will be someone who had 3 times an average viewers. Yeah, something like that, right? Where it's not necessarily. I mean, maybe you keep it under 5K concurrent, but Rising Star is somebody who, triple the amount of average viewers that they had from the beginning of the year. So all the candidates for Rising Star, the stipulation was that you had to have averaged under 1,000 for the year of 2022. What if you go head to head with Will for next year's League of Their Own? Oh my God, I gotta step up my game then. If I go head to head with Will for that category. But yeah, otherwise I don't know, because for things like streamer of the year, variety streamer, just chatting, it's gonna be the big guns, right? It ain't gonna be lil ol' me. You're gonna those are the big streamers and content creators. You're no longer an under 1K Andy. Sometimes I am. It depends. Like if Will and I are both streaming from home, like we just are right on top of each other, then sometimes I'll be under 1,000, or like depending on the content. I'm sure when I go back to gaming, I'll drop back down. I think it's needed to be about percentage. Yeah, I just think it needs to be more specific for the category. But my goal this year is to keep doing collabs, working with cool people in the industry, keep growing our community here, game more, come up with the next, I don't know what my next phase of content will be, because we kind of did award shows, Oscars, get more film nights going, and then kind of figuring out what I want to do outside the platform too, not necessarily just on live stream, right? And I think the thing is like, if I have an idea, I gotta come up with it quick. Wait, big raid incoming. Is Will raiding me? Because I was about to raid him. Hold on. Is Will about to raid me? Because I was gonna get off and raid him. I'm sure he's.
I shot a duck out the damn sky.
No, it's movie night. Oh shit. Okay. Wait, who was gonna raid me? Or were you just saying that? Yeah, I was just gonna do a quick little stream. Okay, Emily just texted me back. So I think tomorrow we'll do we're gonna do some football drills. She's gonna plan some drills for us. I know a short stream to me is 3 hours. Yeah, that is a short stream. Yeah, Will is watching a movie right now, so might be hard to come in. I could rate S-Fan. I've never rated S-Fan. No, Daff gets here tomorrow night. Daff gets here tomorrow night, as is Will. Is fucking dying at Emily. She needs to get a whistle. That's gonna be really. She's gonna come up with some football drills for. Guys, I cannot believe that I'm gonna be eating fast food at 10 in the morning. You're LOL, you're leaving? You're getting raid at the moment. I know. I mean, I can hang on for 5 more minutes, but I gotta eat fast food and do a tier list starting at 10 a.m. Carolyn Quinn. Incoming snot raid. Wow. Hi. Thank you for that giant raid. Snot gang, snot gang. Thank you. Appreciate ya. Mary Snot 12. Shouts out. Thank you for that lovely raid. Let me 12. Oh, wow, it's asking me to log into Twitch. Thank you. Someone else got it. I am at Nick and Melena's right now, so I'm having to log into everything. Thank you for that raid. I was about to get off because I'm supposed to do. We're doing a car stream tomorrow morning, and I was informed that I am going to be doing a fast food tier list, including Whataburger. And I was like at 10 in the morning. Right? Did I get that right? 10 in the morning. I'm going to be eating a burger. Okay. Many burgers. Yeah. And considering that's 8 a.m. in LA, which is like 4 hours before I actually wake up. Enjoy that at 10 a.m. I know. And also I had food poisoning 2 days before the Streamer Awards. Great. It's fine. It'll be good. It'll be good. I actually did a tier list many, many years ago. This was long before Twitch. I was in high school. And my best friends and I went around one night because we were fucking bored. I went to high school in Iowa. There was nothing to do. And we went to every fast food place in town to just buy a bunch of food and rank all that food. Just wondering, do you also have an acting background like Will? I actually have more of an acting background than Will, technically. I was a theater major. I was a theater kid. I did a lot of theater. Will's an improv kid. So I'm the theater kid. He's the improv kid. And then after college, I was doing theater and then also got into film and TV and commercial work. And then I moved out to LA and started doing that. Oh, you guys, so funny. So today I got sent this really big audition. I am already seeing a change in the auditions that I'm getting since the success of Everything Ever All at Once. Truly. I get sent this audition today, and it's like kind of in the vein of a Crazy Rich Asians rom-com being produced by a big studio, half Asia, half Chinese lead, where, you know, a lot of her character journey seems to be coming to terms with like standing up for herself against her racist, waspy white grandmother and like not marrying this guy who's a politician. Anyway. So I had to tape this thing today because I had to turn in tomorrow. And so Melina was so kind and helped me with the audition, but she was so nervous because she was like, I cannot act. I was like, it's okay, dude, don't worry. Like, I literally just need you to read the lines. I will be doing all the acting. And Sear was here earlier and she was like, no. Sear is a much better actor than me. Like, you have to have Sear do it. I was like, in all honesty, if I have Sear do it, like when Will does it for me, I can't keep a straight face. No, I would rather you do it and not act at all than have Sear do it. Because a couple of these scenes were like really dramatic and these big monologues. So she's taping this audition, and it's always so funny to me because I forget when somebody has never ever read sides, they've never done an audition. It can be it can be very overwhelming. It can be very they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, my mom did the same exact thing when I was home once and she had to read lines with me. And anyway, we finished the audition. I finished this final scene, and the whole time I'm delivering this monologue, Melina is not looking, like, I'm looking at her, but she's looking down. She won't look at me. And then I finish and she looks up and she was like, that was so good. I have chills. And she shows me her arm. And she's like, I couldn't even look at you. She's like, I have literal chills. I have goosebumps on my arm. And I was like, really? Because I kind of thought that sucked. Can we do it again? I was like, I actually didn't love that take. I wasn't totally dropped in. I was not, I don't know if you noticed it, but on the third line, I kind of, came out of it a second. Like, no, that was, yeah, it was not quite my tempo. Yeah, not quite my tempo. No. I think I was like, let's just rock and roll again. I'm going to keep running it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to where I need to be emotionally. And then, just keep the camera running. Okay. Keep the camera running. And then once I'm dropped in, I'm going to keep running it. Are table reads intimidating? Yes and no. So the only times I've ever done table reads that would have been intimidating, I had hardly any lines. So really it was mainly just like, don't fuck this up. Like, make sure you come in and say your line. I was on 2 episodes of Lucifer. So I did 2 table reads, and it's the whole cast, right? And the director and the writer. And I was just sitting there and I was like, don't stare at Tom Ellis, please. Do not stare at, oh God, what's her name? How did he smell? I can't even talk about him. Leslie Ann Brandt. Stunning. I was like, do not stare at these people. He's also so tall. It's so rare to be in Hollywood. And me as a 5'9" woman, they put me in these massive, massive heels because Tom Ellis is so tall. Yeah. Anywho, that was the only time that Lauren German's super beautiful too. That was the only time that I was on a show doing a table read where I was legitimately like, oh! And I just kept telling myself, just please come in and say your line and do what you're there and you need to do, and don't hold anybody up. Have taping your own auditions been a thing since the pandemic? I have not been into a single room since before the pandemic. So 3 years. 3 years it's been, and I've not once been into The amount of actors' height that they lie about is hilarious. Yeah, they also Tom Cruise famously, they have had to pull many, many, many stunts and tricks because he famously has female co-stars who are really tall, like gorgeous, tall, leggy A-list actresses. And so they will have him stand on a curb and then the actors stand below. They'll film him from angles. They have him wearing like lifts in his shoes. He is small. And frequently he, like I said, is cast alongside some of the tallest actresses in Hollywood. The other thing is that people aren't just short, they're tiny. They're so skinny and small. And I would always show up in set and be like, God, I really do feel like a corn-fed Midwesterner who's on set with people who have like probably eaten one snap pea in a month. Like, there are some actresses who are inhumanly small. Like, you can see through them. Nicole Kidman. Wait, actually, before I go, my God, I was dying. I was dying laughing at this. I sent this to Will. I was like, you watch this 100. You have to watch 100 times. Not that. Okay. So the caption for this is me when I walk around the house in a beautiful gown and a ghost slaps me. walking around my house in a beautiful gown and a ghost slaps me. It's too good. She has to be trolling. No. You think Nicole Kidman trolls? No, it was a look. It's the best caption. It's so specific. And then you look at the video and you're like, yeah. Say whatever you want. That was hot. Okay, never did I say that was not hot. All right, everything that woman does is hot. Is iconic. Will told me that the only person he has ever been we make movies better. The only person he has ever been shell-shocked by, just like stops in his tracks, was Nicole Kidman. He saw her. Oh my God, this is so good. Will be teasing. I'm gonna show this in 1 second. He said that he saw her. He was, I don't know where the fuck he was. It was some award show. And he said she was so tall and so lithe and looked unreal, looked like an alien. And he said he stopped in his tracks and almost stopped breathing. She is the face of AMC. That is true. Okay. This is so good. Our show poster, if you were in here from earlier, when Austin and I take our show on the road. You know what was funny? You know what was funny is that when we did this, so we had our arms around each other, and look at little Will. Look at little Willie in the back. We put our arms around each other and we're singing, and then after the cameraman moves away, Austin turns to me.